Now this might be able to explain it a little bit simpler. I always like to break things down to simple explanations. If you can't explain it simply, you're not doing a good enough job. So here we've got the two different space fields. I don't know what you'd call them. They're two different dimensions, and normally they're in a static balance. There's no action, nothing's happening until we introduce the catalyst, which is mass. And once you introduce mass, you distort the two dimensions. They distort like this. The black tries to escape from the red, but the red is intrinsically bound to the black. It just won't let it get away. So it comes down like this. It forms like almost a droplet. The red one comes in and forces its way in there and binds it together. It forms something like this. There's your black field surrounded by your red field. The two, they're basically married. You cannot separate them until they come into contact with mass. So they will travel through space at the speed of light. Everything makes sense when you break it down to such a simple explanation. Here's your Feynman diagram. This is what you're looking for. You've got your two gravitational bosons, which I call G bosons. All this is undetectable by us because there's no charge. There's an effect, but there's no charge. So we observe gravity like the ancients would have observed wind. They can see its effect, but they can't really describe it. So here's your Feynman diagram. Your two G bosons joined together. The catalyst is mass. The mass affects the two dimensions. These are two energy dimensions. Like I said, massive energy, but we only draw a tiny, tiny fraction. There's enough energy in that 1 cubic millimetre. It's way bigger than this figure. I just put that in there as to be representative. It's way bigger than that. Over a trillion times bigger than that. So it forms this graviton. The graviton travels through space. This part here, this is your space. And once it reaches mass, then the two G bosons separate, and it's the only thing that will cause them to separate is mass. So that's my explanation of gravity. How did I come to this conclusion? I carried out some experiments, and now I'm ready to build an engine based on this theory. I have built part of the engine, and I couldn't explain how the engine worked in the beginning, and after a few years of thinking and study and mein Gedanken, my thought experiments, this is what I've come up with. This is the only rational explanation for gravity. I'm not sure other people are going to come up with different ideas and whatever, but this actually works. I'm not too good at explaining myself. I try to make it really as simple as possible. As I said, this is my explanation for a graviton. I'd like you to just think about it, and we'll see where we go from there. Of course, I am looking for a sponsor or funding to build my engine, but we'll see how we go. This is too valuable to ignore or to give up on. Like I said, I've been seriously studying this on and off for over 40 years, and this is the end result. So yeah, you can tell me what you think in the comments. Yeah, we might have to take this to China to manufacture the engine. We'll see how we go anyway. But it's very simple. Once you see, it'll be as common as a motor car. And just as a closing note, it was Lord Kelvin, one of the most eminent scientists of his day. He said we would never make a machine heavier than air that would fly. I want you to take that into consideration. This is the most eminent scientists of their day did not believe, if you could transport them from back then to now, they just would not believe it. They think they're on a different planet. So yeah, that's my explanation for gravity, and it works for me. Thanks for watching.